You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris. No, it's been a while since I've uploaded or basically put any new content. I'm operating more than one channel, so I'm trying to keep both of them balanced. If you don't already know, ladies, I do have my own channel called the Mocha's Ladies Lounge, specifically for women. I do have a few male subscribers over there, but you know, I don't limit anybody from being able to subscribe to neither channel, but just to keep the gender war down to a minimum. I have it separated for that reason, because I want women to be able to go into a space, enter into a space in which they can feel welcome, can feel friendly, can feel comfortable, address womanly issues without, you know, having, you know, any red pill energy, you know, any negative energy from some of these, you know, dudes who don't know how to respect certain issues when it comes to women. So that was my purpose of creating my own space for the women. But here, of course, this is my co-ed channel, Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where pretty much men and women can both collaborate together. And I'll say so far I'm blessed. I don't get a lot of drama from my subscribers. Most of my subscribers are very mature, and a lot of the guys that rock with me, they're not so red pill to the point to where you know, they cannot, you know, balance, you know, not appreciate my content that is very balanced, and they do respect the women I do into the space as well. So I'm really grateful for that, and it's all because of the tone that I have set for my content. I'm not always on here totally just dragging black men, and I'm not always just totally doing a drag fest towards women. So I pretty much keep it balanced. I go in on both here, and it's unfortunate that most balanced content creators, we don't get a lot of shine, we don't get a lot of spotlight, because in this day and era, due to the manosphere and due to the Bitter Sisterhood Committee, you got to pick a side in order for people to really support you. You got to either be all for men or all for women. So nevertheless, that is how I've always handled my channel, and I will continue to do so and not follow the trend of, well, I need more cash apps, I need more donations, so I'm going to have to pick a side. I'm going to have to, you know, pick a group of people who I'm all for, and in order to grow, I got to pick a group that I'm all for, and in the midst of that, disrespect a group that I'm not for in order to prove my loyalty to the group that I want to keep as my you know, consistent members or followers. So anyway, I've decided to come on here today, and I'm sure a lot of you have already heard about the mess and misfit, fresh and fit, whatever you want to call them, the frauds. You know, everybody got different names for them, frick and frat and frick, you know, whatever you want to call them, but nevertheless, they are well known as the Fresh and Fit Show. So for those of you who are not really into this kind of, you know, YouTube streets, because I get it, a lot of us got real things going on outside of social media, so a lot of y'all are probably totally lost in the sauce hearing about these different channels and content creators that are getting demonetized or getting their channels shut down altogether. So a lot of y'all probably are totally clueless. So nevertheless, for those of you who are not aware, Fresh and Fit are two guys who have their own podcast, and these guys are very, very, very successful, very popular, especially among male audience, due to the fact the type of content that they promote. And most of their content, it is, from what I know, everybody has their own perspective, so don't shoot me in the foot on it, but most of their content is very derogatory towards women. But the reason they do content, and that I'm not sure that's not all they do, but that is what the majority of what they're known for is, basically going in on women. And it's somewhat like, it's pretty much like a masculine empowerment movement in which they encourage or motivate men to better themselves, to be more selective and their decisions, and definitely having more discretion when it comes to choosing the right type of women. But in most cases, from what I could understand, is that they pretty much promote content that gives this narrative that men are the prize, and that they should only be seeking women who respect that men are prizes and women are not prizes. So it just seems like to me the type of content they have promoted has not been to uplift men, but it's to give them this delusional concept that men are kings and women are peasants, so women should just bow down to men and what men are and how men should be treated. But I've also heard they have given other inspirational content supposedly on men marketing themselves to become more successful, to become physically fit by watching their health, also teaching men how to manage their wealth. So nevertheless, to simply put it, most of their content is for men. As far as if we're going to speak on something positive, they empower men to basically be better men. That's the best way I could put it. However, again, they also promote content in which is degrading to women. They actually have a podcast in which they give women access to women that they choose for whatever reason to become a part of their panel. Now, I don't watch these guys a lot, but the one or two times I did some drive-bys on their channel, and I just never cared for the energy that they would put out there, especially when it came to women. And of course, I'm always empathize with women to a degree because I am a woman. And I just never really liked their delivery and their approach with how they talk to women and address women. It appears to me, and like I said, I don't know a lot because I don't view them a lot. So this is just based. This video is based off of my opinion, based on my own perspective, based on what I assume. This is fair use, and basically, it's just simply based on my opinion. So the few episodes I have caught, I see a lot of young females. Most of them look under the age of 30 on the panel. Most of them look like they are airheads, and I'm just going by looks, and looks are deceiving. A few of them probably could have been very intelligent women, but you would never know that because the majority of them on the panel, from what I could gather, were yes women. Yes, I agree. I think so. I believe that sounds about right to me. And you can tell because of the type of energy these men put off. Any woman who goes on their show, most of the time she would just comply and go with the flow to avoid confrontation. Because from what we can gather, fresh and fit Myron, I guess that's the I don't know if he's half Arab and black. I don't know. Anybody else knows, you can quote it in my comment section. But Myron, they call him Myron the moron, and I don't know who the dark-skinned brother is. I don't know his name, but Myron seems to be more of the aggressor when it comes to putting women in check on the panel, especially women who go against his narratives, especially women who will debate, who will share their own perspective, and if their perspectives is not in alignment with his, especially if they're getting loud or they're becoming overly emotional because they're trying to stress their point, he will put them off. He will throw them literally out of the studio in the middle of them doing a live broadcast. And I've witnessed this a couple of times. And at first I thought he was just doing this with dark-skinned women, because I do know they also have a disdain towards black women. They call them night riders, for those of you who do not know this. But I've also seen a couple of times they have also disrespected light-skinned women. So if you are a woman who will defend yourself, or you will challenge them on their viewpoints or their speaking points, and it seems to overpower the points that they're trying to convince the audience, they will boot you off the show, which is the reason why I'm more upset with the women who participate in being made a mockery out of with these type of shows. Just like women would do with Kevin Samuels. I mean, truth of the matter is, women really have the power. We can make these guys' shows boring. We can make their podcasts. We can make their channel, their content. We can make it very dry and boring if we didn't participate and became minstrel volunteers of being made a mockery out of, because that's really the point of having women on the show. They don't want women who they can hold a sensible dialogue with. They want women that's going to co-sign on their shenanigans, and women who don't co-sign on the shenanigans, they're going to disrespect them. Now, notice another thing is that, like I said earlier, a lot of these women are young women. Some of them look like they may be in college, or some of them, most of them look like city girls. And they usually keep a variety. They have white girls, Latino girls, black women, and they keep all type of different races and ethnicities of women, which I think that's cool. You should never just have one race of women on the show. But it just always seemed to me that the sisters was always challenged the most, and it's easy to challenge black women, unfortunately, because they know the majority of us are very combative. We're hotheads. We are argumentative. We got an offense filter. So I would say these guys were very smart and strategic on what type of women they would select on their panel, because they wanted women that was going to turn up, women who they can put in their place, and they knew what type of women to put on the show in order for them to promote the narratives that they wanted to promote. Like women are gullible, women aren't smart, women are unintelligent, women don't know how to handle the truth, or what I would like to say, weaponizing the truth. Nothing wrong with telling people the truth, but when you use it as a weapon in which you got to belittle them and attack them to make your point sound valid, that's when I feel like it's gone from truth to toxic. And me personally, I felt like both of these gentlemen were very toxic, and this is the reason they ultimately ended up in a situation in which they ended up in, which is getting their channel demonetized. Now, for those of you who are not YouTube savvy and does not know how that works, being a content creator, we all have what's called rules, regulations, policies, and procedures. They let you know this when you start your channel, when you're building your channel. They let you know what you can and can't do, and you get the manual, you click that agree to the rules and terms buttons. But what tends to happen to a lot of content creators, just like Fresh and Fit, your followers become very huge, especially when you're speaking on topics that are very controversial. And women, we are the most popular hot topics when it comes to these man spaces. They don't want to talk about anything else. They can talk about sports, they can talk about video games, they can talk about technology, computers. It's so many things in this world that they can discuss. They can even talk to men about violence, about so much violence amongst men in the black community. There's so many other things going on with men that they could be discussing, but we are always the hot topic, and more so, it's never in a positive manner of what type of woman you should marry. what type of woman you should choose to have children with. It's always, women are not worth anything. You shouldn't have children from no women. Women should be bowing down and worshiping you. It's never find you a good woman that's going to be on your team, that's going to build you. It's always, again, is degrading, negative content. And these guys were basically getting their rocks off on that. And one thing I can honestly say, being a content creator, it's very easy to get caught up in the hype. And you learn as you go what the audience what draws the audience and what doesn't draw the audience. I realized when I was doing more content about black women being put in, checking black women and putting women in their place, or what women how women should better themselves, I would get way more feedback from the audience. But then when I would talk about how men need to also check themselves, you don't get as much comments. I don't get as much comments under those type of videos. I don't get as much feedback. I get a couple of guys that'll say, "You right, Mocha, men, we got some things we got to work on too." So as a content creator, it's easy to get caught up in the hype. When you pick a certain topic and you see that is what's gravitating the audience, it's kind of like being a musician. When you play certain songs, the crowd gets hyped. They cheering you on. You see they into it. They dancing. They into the groove, and it makes you feel good that somebody is doing something that you put your craft and energy into. Nobody wants to put all their energy and craft into something and your audience not receive it, or your audience not gravitate towards it. So I'm sure you have, you have a lot of musicians. Certain songs the audience get hype off of, and other songs the audience kind of sit around and like, I ain't too much feeling this song right here, kind of like I remember when I went to the Erykah Badu concert, and I was looking for her to do all of her old songs like Tyrone and other one called Tyrone and Bag Lady, all her hits that she's known for, that made us fall in love with her. This chick did every song but that when I went to her concert. She did every new song and song that was not even on any of the albums that I bought. And I would say I was disappointed. I'm like, I did not pay for you to experiment with new music. We wanted to hear your classics. We wanted to hear the music. And I wasn't the only audience member who felt some type of way. Other fans was complaining and saying the same thing. And Erykah Badu did not care. She did not read the energy that your audience was not receiving the songs you putting out there that we don't know. We want to sing along to Tyrone. We want to sing along to Love of My Life. We want to sing along to Honey. All these hits you got, and you going, you know what I mean? So as a content creator, you know which content is hitting and you know what content ain't hitting. Freaking Frat found out the secret ingredient that was making the majority of their followers support them was the going in on women and promoting red pill rage. I want to make sure I say the right word for it. Promoting a lot of red pill raging. Okay, you don't have to elevate somebody or make somebody feel confident by weaponizing a whole nother group of people or putting down a whole nother group of people. It's kind of like the Ku Klux Klan. They could have been powerful enough just in being what they were, which was a group of white men. But that wasn't enough to make them feel empowered. They had to go around and unalive black people in order to increase that power. You know what I mean? So, and that could be probably a far-fetched, example to use, but this just goes to show, building people ain't enough. You got to tear somebody down in order to build somebody up. And that is my issue with it. You should be able to build people up without having to tear another group of people down, to make people feel empowered, to give people encouragement. And that's what Fresh and Fit has done. And anybody who's been following them or who knows of them knows that it was only a matter of time it was eventually going to come to this, because these guys got besides themselves, and they're not the only ones. There's several other male content creators that promoted this red pill raging, and a lot of them, either they passed away, they deceased, or either they channel died. Tommy Sotomayor was one of the male content creators that I have followed for years. Matter of fact, he was one of the very first men who I followed. I liked a lot of his content. He would be very raw in his truth, but I had really enjoyed listening to him. But it became outlandish after a while. It went from him being real to him being ratchet, and that's with all due respect. As a man, your masculinity is already going to give you that dominance you need, just being a man. You don't have to add all the other shenanigans, the being disrespectful, calling a woman the B word, calling a woman the whole word, your masculinity, if it's strong enough, it's going to stand for itself. Well, you don't have to resort to being hyper masculine. That's where you get all out of your emotions as a man, and you're screaming, you're yelling, you're going off. And we've seen Fresh and Fit done this, especially Fresh. Okay, we've seen him get so upset and so emotional that he's yelling at women, he's screaming at women and booting women off. If it's to that point, you're not really a man. People, if you're a man, people are going to respect the man that's in you. And anytime a man has to resort to acting like a woman to earn his dominance back or whatever, then that already shows you he's not really a man. So nevertheless, Tommy Sotomayor was really successful, really huge. And he had a lot of followers. A lot of women rocked with Tommy Sotomayor, because I was one of them. I really rocked with him, and I learned a lot of stuff from his channel. It's things he taught me about a man that I thought was very interesting. But once he started beefing with all kind of content creators, it just went totally left. And nevertheless, I heard he's doing well at Rumble, so big ups to Tommy Sotomayor. But a lot of people like Fresh and Fit, a lot of these content creators, what they're not understanding is, you do not run YouTube. And I think that's the biggest problem with a lot of content creators, those who start succeeding and doing well. And honestly, the truth is, once people's content creators, once their followers get big, so do they ego, so do they arrogance. As the cash apps increase, so do the ego. As the followers increase, so do the ego. As the super chats increase, so does the arrogance. So they come hand in hand. Everybody's not good at being successful. Success ain't for everybody. It takes a special individual who can be successful and yet still be humble. I take LL Cool J as a great example when it comes to being overly successful and still being humble. This man is a millionaire. He has sold millions of records, and you've never really heard LL Cool J, even on his worst days, like really get out of character. You've never seen him like brag about all of his money and what he has. The man is a millionaire, but he's always been humble. And you got a lot of guys out here, and women also. No matter how many millions they get, they still down to earth. They still humble. They still talk to people with respect and dignity. And I think that's awesome when you can make money and not let it make you. Fresh and Fit, on the other hand, or Frick and Frack, whatever you choose to call them, disrespect became an overkill. Not only have they disrespected women on their shows, they have disrespected other content creators. They have disrespected other men, and a lot of it has to do with YouTube. I'll say YouTube is like that parent who spoils certain children. Some kids, they do one thing wrong, they put strikes on them right away. They punish them right away. They slap them on those right away. Freaking frat became those undisciplined, unspoiled children that YouTube had created, because they was actually in partnership with YouTube. Okay, so they became very cocky, very arrogant, to the point they thought they was invincible. And they knew, and even Myron the moron admitted it himself, that he knew they was pushing the envelope. But because they were in partnership and they felt like, we making sure YouTube is making all of this money, they did not feel like they needed to set any boundaries. And that is becoming an ongoing pattern in the YouTube streets. You have a lot of red pill content creators, and I would say you also have a lot of these female content creators as well, who are also promoting and bashing men and things of that nature, because nothing has officially happened to them. They become more and more comfortable. Nothing has happened to their channel, so as far as they're concerned, they don't feel like they're breaking any rules. And that was a problem with Frick and Frat, because nothing was happening to them. They felt like, shoot, we doing YouTube a favor. And the worst thing any employee can become is to think that they are doing the corporation a service, that they are doing the ones who employed them, that they are helping them, and I think the problem with Fresh and Fit, like a lot of these content creators, they think they're doing YouTube a favor. They think they are bigger than YouTube. Same thing with Nene Leakes from the Housewives of Atlanta. She thought she was bigger than Bravo, the people who gave her opportunity to build her platform, to build her fame. She started getting beside herself and disrespecting Bravo executives. So guess what? They finally got tired of it, even though she was one of the main housewives, even though she was one of the most highest paying housewives on that whole franchise. When them people got tired of her trying to handle them like they was beneath her, like she was Bravo and they was under her, they booted her out, and she's been blackmailed. She has not been able to catch a break since then, and she's been catching it. She's not making the money she used to make, and her businesses, her boutique, everything that she's made a living off of during her duration at Bravo is gone now, because she's not getting those Bravo checks. Same thing with Fresh and Fit. They started thinking they were bigger than YouTube. Okay, like YouTube should be honored that they decided to bring their podcast to YouTube, when in actuality they should have had enough respect for YouTube to say, okay, yeah, we done got away with this for a while, but we need to peel back, because we have grown too successful. We have gotten way too big at this point to keep pushing the envelope. We are pushing enough. I guarantee you, the followers, even if they would have been peeling back just a little, the followers probably wouldn't even caught on to it. Because they had already built a strong, solid fan base. They still would have been getting the same support they've been getting. But this is the honest truth. And I've seen this happen to a lot of content creators. Your followers, I'm sure everybody at some point in time, you have experienced being bullied. You have experienced being bullied, or you witnessed from a distance somebody being bullied. All of us at some point knew about that fight that was going to happen after school. Okay? And everybody wanted to be there at that playground, at them school grounds, wherever that fight was going to take place. You wanted to be there to see it. Especially if the fight that was taking place was somebody you really liked and somebody you did not like. Okay? So what tends to happen to content creators when they start getting a lot of followers? What happens is they followers start boosting them up to be more of what they already are. If you're already a bully and your audience knows it and they like you because of you being a bully, they're going to keep pushing you to be that. Okay? So you might get in this fight and realize you really don't want to fight this dude because you know he's a square. You know you're going to kill him. You know he's easy to beat. But because you have your audience around and you're known as the bully, you got to keep that image up. So even if you can feel it's getting out of control, you can feel you're getting too disrespectful, because even Fitz said it, okay? Fresh and Fitz, they both admitted, they attested to this. We knew it was coming to this. But what happened was your followers, people who pay your salary, people who cash out to you, you want to keep that same income, if not more, coming in. So guess what? You feel obligated to keeping that same energy. If your audience is cheering you on every time you kick a woman off the panel, you're going to keep doing it. If your audience is cash apping you every time you call a black woman a bitch or whatever on your panel, and you're seeing the super chats every time you do it, you're going to keep doing it. And this is what happens, and I'm telling you, because I used to rock with some red pill content creators. Some guys, some of these dudes, I wasn't down with many. It was 3 off the head that I was really, really loyal fans. Used to cash out to them and all of that. I stopped rocking with them because their whole energy changed once the audience started pushing them, boosting them, instigating them to be even more disrespectful and outlandish than what they already were. And it takes a content creator with wisdom and knowledge to understand when you are stepping out of character. You know it in your gut that you're doing too much, but it's the cash apps. It's the clout. Clout is a hell of a drug. And once you have gotten accustomed to these cash apps, once you done got accustomed to all these people showing you love, coming to your live chats, shouting you out, we rock with you, Mocha, you turn truth, Mocha. Approval is addicting. And as much as a lot of these men try to make it seem like women, we're so attention starved and attention seeking, truth is, a lot of these male content creators, they are just as attention starved as the black women they complain about. They love for people to keep boosting up stroking their ego and tell them, man, you telling the truth. Man, you keeping it real. And the problem is, we've gone to keeping it real to keeping it ratchet. Ratchet is what's bringing in the revenue. It's called ratchet revenue. And in a lot of content creators, they're not going to be woke to this. Not understanding that in order is supply and demand. In order to keep getting those cash apps to come in, you got to keep supplying the filth, the fuckery. That keeps your audience entertained. So, back to the scenario that I was using about the playground, it's your followers who will provoke you, who will encourage you to keep promoting that fuckery energy, because you want to please and accommodate and make those who support you. You want to make them happy. And if it means at the expense of disrespecting of the women, disrespecting of the content creators, you are willing to do so, not looking down the long haul that eventually all of this disrespect is going to catch up with you. Let me say something. Everything that's always been so controversial. Listen, controversy is popular. Okay? Controversy is popular. Anything that goes against the grain, it is what magnifies people, because you got to realize we are living in a culture in where there's a lot of toxicity. You got a lot of toxic black men that are broken, who have been rejected by black women who did not see no value in them, black women who did not find them attractive, black women who used to call them ugly, snotty nose, crusty nose, you're a short man, These men now have found a new gateway, which is called social media through YouTube, in which now they could build a foundation off of their platform for men who, just like themselves, were once upon a time rejected and not accepted by the very thing that they resent and disrespect so much, which is black women, because they wanted that validation back in the day, and because they couldn't get it back in the day. Now that they are successful, they can wear suits. Now that they're driving Lamborghinis and Porsches and stuff, now this is their time to shine and get back at all the black women and all the men who also used to tease them and look down on them, and say, look at me, I've made it. I've got a platform now in which I can keep spreading this toxic, poisonous message to all other men who were broken, rejected, and not accepted, just like I was, and who's still struggling with those issues. Because I don't struggle with them issues. So I think because now my followers are supporting my narratives, my platform, which is why I can buy these Porsches, Lamborghinis, these Bentleys, these Phantoms. So being that I'm getting so much support and profit from spreading this toxic message, I'm going to keep it pushing. I'm going to push the envelope further and further and further and further until I crash. Controversy is always good. Listen, the way you build something, 9 times out of 10, if you build it off of negativity, it is going to crash at some point. If you build something off of positivity, the instant gratification for the cash apps is not as instant. The support is not as huge. But in the long run, you'll have more longevity, because you're not doing anything that eventually is going to bring you more problems than your profits. See, this is what a lot of these male content creators and these anti-black men, female content creators don't understand. Anything that brings you a lot of profit, yes, the super chats, the cash apps, the Zales, it also brings you a lot of problems. Profit comes with problems, because again, it's going to be that inside voice. I know I'm doing too much. Clout is a hell of a drug. Clout and cash apps is more addicting than cocaine. It's a hell of a drug. Seeing them cash apps come in every month, and it always all this money comes in because of what you promote, the garbage you promote, the toxicity you promote. You know you need to slow it down, but the profits and the cash apps is telling you, no, keep it going, turn it up, crank the heat. Listen, if you're driving a vehicle and your speakers, and you crank the speakers all the way up to the max, they're going to blow at some point. You're putting too much pressure on those amps, on those speakers. Eventually one of the speakers going to blow. Fresh and Fit been pushing the pedal to the metal for quite some time. They have caused other people's channels to get flagged down. So this is the thing. They still have their channel, because I don't want to give misinformation. They still have their channel, but it's just demonetized, meaning they can't make any more money. You can't click that super chat button. You can't click that super chat button. The super chat button is not there for you to super chat. So you're going to have to either Cash App, Zelle. I'm sure they have many other avenues where they can receive income. But Cash Apps, Super Chats are more convenient, because as people are watching your live, they can just click that $sign. And honestly, technology has everybody so spoiled. Nobody wants to go through any extra loops to give you no money. Nobody wants to go through people just want to be able to, if they want to see some money, they just want to click a button right away. It's just like that. It's like that. Everybody don't want to go on their phone and do their Cash App. Everybody don't want to Zelle. Everybody, you know, unless they really, really loyal and rock with you. For the most part, people just rather super chat you right when you're going live. So the fact that that is not there, you know, it is going to cause a dampen in their profits. Now, this doesn't mean they're going to be broke or homeless tomorrow and gotta eat off the dollar menu from Wendy's or whatever, but it is going to cause a little dent, because now what they're doing, they basically told their followers they're going to I guess start doing most of their expensive content on Rumble. I don't know much about Rumble, but from what they were saying with Rumble, in order for you to be able to view the content that you used to view for free off of YouTube, now you're going to have to pay $5. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of followers, once they know they got to pay you, they will not follow you. They will not follow you, even though you're not asking for a lot. You know, people like to be, you got to realize YouTube has spoiled everybody, even subscribers. Your subscribers done got used to seeing you for free. And they also had that option, if they wanted to super chat you on a good day, they'll super chat you. They'll click that super chat button and send you $5, $20. But once that option is no longer there, and for one, you got to uproot your whole audience and make everybody go to Rumble, where you can say all the explicit, where you can keep putting out that toxicity content like you've been doing. A lot of followers, they are lazy. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of them. It's been a couple of times my favorite content creators, they will have to close down a channel or lose a channel, and they got to start all over and go somewhere else. And I go back to the new channel they started. I don't see the same subscribers who I vibe with and talk to. I see a whole new audience in there. It's like a whole new classroom. And it's like the energy is not the same as for when they had their first original channel starting out. You not only rock with the content creators, other subscribers, you rock with other subscribers. Like I'm subscribed to Reg the Bad Guy. So I rock with a lot of the same subscribers in there. We see each other all the time. All the time. I'm always talking to Brian. I'm always talking to I can't think of American Negro. A lot of them I memorize their subscribers' name, because that's just how much we rock together. John the Analyst, all of them, you know. People are lazy. Everybody ain't gonna want to uproot where they used to be in and go follow you somewhere else. And everybody's not tax savvy. People are used to the chat being designed a certain way. For instance, prime example, there was this DJ who I love. He has his own channel, Soulful Disco. He does a lot of he's a DJ. He does a lot of old school mixes, and he even sends them to SoundCloud. Phenomenal guy, one of my favorite DJs. I met him through Facebook. When I first met him through Facebook, I first met him through Facebook. He started promoting a lot of his music on YouTube. So a lot of us from Facebook started following him on YouTube. Went to YouTube, everything was good, everything was popping, but YouTube started getting strict on his channel because of all the music he was doing, which I think is crazy, because I know a lot of other DJs who do the same exact thing. Because I'm subscribed to different DJs on YouTube, because I love old school music, so I'm subscribed to different ones. So anyway, they decided to copyright so many of his videos. I couldn't even go back and watch the old classic videos where me and a lot of his followers, you know, from the original crew, you know, all those videos were gone. So he realized he couldn't really play his music on YouTube. He all recommended for us to go to Twitch, which I did follow Twitch, but let me tell you, the majority of everyone else did not follow Twitch. Nobody else would go to Twitch. They would not. It would be like hundreds of people in the chat. When he started getting everybody to go through Twitch, it went from hundreds to only like 20 to 30 people. Because for one, a lot of people did not feel like registering. With Twitch, you had to register. Only thing was he didn't pay us, but I mean he didn't tell us we had to pay to go view Twitch, but he had to pay to keep doing his music on Twitch. So I'm sure that took a little strain for him to play free music for us, and we're not paying for it, you know. And the chat room was not as tech friendly as YouTube. YouTube, you can see everybody's chat, you can see everybody's wrenches, you know. The chat sometimes is pretty slow where people can kind of take the time to read everybody's comments. Twitch, it was just so different. I did not like how that chat room looked. I didn't like it, you know. And I still like John's music, but I'm like, I just really don't want to listen to his music through Twitch anymore. So, you know, it's been hard to catch his music because he got to do them in spells on Facebook, and he could only probably get away with playing it on Facebook like 30 minutes, and they'll stop the middle of the stream because of the copyright strikes. And it's like, I don't know why everybody's making a big deal out of, if people want to play music, as long as they ain't trying to sell it on Facebook. Facebook is not even monetizing stuff as far as I know, but it's crazy. But I say all that to say this: nobody wants to uproot where they have started with you and relocate somewhere else. Now, my thing is, if this was the case, if you knew you was going to do content that was going to push the envelope all the way, you should have started that Rumble the same time you started your YouTube. That way, if one platform wouldn't have worked out, everybody would have done got used to. The majority of them would have already transitioned. And some days you should have already been doing your content on Rumble. Hey, everybody who's on YouTube tonight, meet me at Rumble. You know, they should have started that transition. But what happened was, because they were partners of YouTube, they never prepared themselves for the date or the time to start transitioning their loyal fans. Because by being so abruptly, by their channel being abruptly demonetized, that means all of their followers are going to have to readjust and go to Rumble. And some people are picky. If they don't like how the chat room is, they don't like the fact that they got to pay $5 once a month to see it, they're not going to. Like, even with my channel, my women's channel, I'll say all together, I probably got like 10 to 15 women who faithfully pay $3 a month. The rest of them don't want to pay that. They just want to see my content for free. I'm not mad at that, because honestly, I'm not in a position where I can't really chat to people once a month. I had to stop donating once a month to a couple of my favorite content creators, because I had some hardships, you know, and with the pandemic and stuff, you know, I just couldn't pull it, you know, even though $3 don't seem like much of anything, but I just was not in a position to be able to do that. So it's going to be hard, because people love convenience. Technology got everybody used to, I just want to click that button and pay you. I'm not going way over there to register. I have to put in my name, put in the password and all of that. And your real loyal subscribers, they don't mind going the extra mile. But keep in mind, a lot of your subscribers too, a lot of them probably don't even use their accounts. You feel me? Some of them have passed away and you don't even know, because ain't like a family member who knows that their subscriber of your channel is going to report it to you. Some of your subscribers have passed away. Some of your subscribers, they just work too much now, where they haven't watched you for months, but they've been subscribed to you. But because it's pandemic, it has changed a lot of how your subscribers support you. I don't think freaking frat understand that. But however, you know, I think this is not totally going to break them, but hopefully it gives them a humble piece of pie. That's what I'm hoping out of this for them. I'm not hoping for them to fail or to just lose everything. I'm just hoping these gentlemen become more humble. The way they handle other male content creators, the way they handle the females, the women who come on their panel. What a lot of these red pill raging guys don't understand is not only men who support you, women support you. Again, like I told y'all, I've supported many guys that base their channels off of red pill content. I don't have a problem with that. I really don't have a problem with men who always going in on women. That's your personal business, because that'd be hypocritical for me to feel some type of way about it, because I know women who do it all the time. They channel day in, day out is about black men are garbage, black men are irresponsible, black men. So I can't sit up here and say men content creators should not talk about black women at all. It wouldn't be right. But I'll say this much, is that you don't realize that you lose a lot of your female subscribers who make up a large percentage also of your profits and proceeds, because women will come out their money for men who really genuinely respect them and support them. And it's even easier these days. You know why? Because women are so used to being disrespected. So the moment there's a male content creator that actually respects, you already win brownie points just off of respecting black women alone, because a lot of these content creators, they done got so big and deep in the red pill, they have lost a lot of their female followers, and they don't know how to be balanced. They don't know how to still, orchestrate their channels to where you still get your men to support you, but you don't lose your women. I have supported a couple of guys in the red pill, but I had to back away because what is happening in the red pill spaces, the content creators have gotten so blinded by the cash apps and the super chats, they're not paying attention to how their loyal female subscribers are getting disrespected in the spaces. You're not understanding as a content creator. If you are promoting red pill, you have to realize your chat room is being flooded with red pill pit bulls, with red pill attack dogs. I had to leave certain spaces, not because of the content creator, but because of his audience. They're so busy shouting out people that's cash apping, they're not paying attention to how their female followers are getting disrespected. I done been in the man spaces and been gangbanged verbally. 6-7 guys trying to climb up on me all at one time because I have a difference in opinion or something. I'm coming in there respectfully, not coming in there, throwing all of my negative feminine energy around, just sharing a difference in opinion. And these attack dogs, these red pill pit bulls, most of these young guys who have become a Samuelite, if not the young guys, these old men who are already old and bitter because they can't get it up. Viagra isn't doing the job anymore. The truth is these red pill male content creators get so addicted to the cash apps, they don't monitor their chat. They don't monitor that they loyal female followers are getting disrespected. So what ends up happening is a lot of women leave, or they either go straight divest. They become divestors. They start following women who been saying for longest black men don't respect black women. They're going to believe that because the black men who they supported did not respect them or didn't make sure that they red pill pit bull attack dogs respected them. All of that. So a lot of women have left these spaces and have divested. I haven't been one of them, but a lot of women have divested. And then when they say, see, women fake, they two-faced, they not loyal. No, the energy I was getting in your channel, in your chat room, was not pleasant. I was no longer feeling welcome, and you didn't have no moderators in there making sure that your female followers wasn't getting attacked, so I had to leave. One thing about me, I'm not going to stay in a space where I don't feel safe. I don't feel welcome. I'm not going to keep arguing with these dudes. Why you so busy up there focusing on your super chats? I'm in your chat room fighting and having to defend myself for your red pill attack dogs who are devouring me Like I'm in a damn cage and I got nowhere to go. I'm not confined here. I can gracefully log out and go to a more anti-friendly male space, which y'all consider simp spaces. But if that's where I'm going to feel comfortable and respected, then that's where I'm going to go. Fresh and Fit was really getting their jollies off. You know, in the words of, I don't know if it was Abraham Lincoln who it was, give a man money and power and you will see his true character. And in this day and age, give a man money and clout. Because they're already going to feel the power just off the clout alone. We're in a day and age where clout is taking over common sense. And it's taking over discretion. You know, they have these women come on their panels and they know what they're doing. They don't pick women that's older and mature. Who will intelligently, not ratchetly, intelligently get them right together. Y'all not bringing no intelligent. Y'all not going to bring somebody on there like Claudia Jordan or Nene Leakes. Somebody that's older, that Vivica Fox, they sure wouldn't bring home there. You ain't going to bring women on your show that's going to challenge your viewpoints. That would make the show more interesting to see how Myron and Darky, I don't know who the dude name is, it'd be more interesting to see them challenge women who are actually really intelligently smart. I don't want to see you going back and forth with some college airhead, females. With these city girls. With these females that look like, half of them white chicks look like they live with their parents still, their rich parents who support them. Half of the women that sit on the panel do not understand what Myron, and I got to find out what this other guy's name is because I don't know his name. They can't even relate to none of what Fresh and Fit is saying. All they know is I'm a female and I look cute, and they allowed me to come on their show. They letting me come on their panel so I can get a little clout, a little shine, a little airtime. Oh yeah, Walter Weeks and Myron. Okay, so the other guy name is Walter. I just want to call people by their name and at least be respectful in that manner, even though I'm not fans of them. But they're not bringing even real women. They bringing city girls and airheads, air mattresses. That's what I call them. They bringing city girls and air mattresses on the show. Women who aren't competent enough to debunk and debate their viewpoints. They want women who just want to come on there and sit cute and be like, yeah, well, I agree. Well, I absolutely think you're making a valid point. And the one or two women who did challenge them, they put them out. Or the bad part about these dudes, because they were so egotistical, even if you brought a woman of substance and intelligence who wasn't arguing with them, Myron, especially him, he's the type of guy that strikes me as he's going to make a woman look stupid, especially if her points seem way more valid than his and seem way more intelligent than his. That's why a lot of these red pill content creators, they're not going to bring women on their panels, on their spaces, because they're afraid and intimidated that it's actually a woman out there who's going to challenge their viewpoints. It's actually a woman that's going to make them look stupid, and they know they have one moment to fumble the bag and they will lose all of their male followers. And these red pill raging dudes, they are not going to take that chance and put a highly intelligent, successful black woman on there who knows her shit. They're not going to bring her on there and she makes them look stupid. You know how many followers he'll lose? Man, I thought you knew how to handle these women, man. Why you up here cupcaking for these women? You gonna sit up here and let this woman own you on your own panel, man? I can't rock with you like that no more, man. I can't support you no more like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You cupcaking for these 304s. You feel me? You know, I'm up here cash apping you know what I'm saying? Because you're supposed to be for the men, but you up here letting these women in our space. It's just so pathetic, and a lot of these guys ain't understanding. Y'all are getting older. It was cute maybe when you was in your 20s and 30s on that red pill raging, It's unattractive. And the truth of it, a lot of these red pill content creator guys, a lot of them are not married, but yet they bitch about single mothers. Yet you're going around here creating single mothers. A lot of them haven't been in a relationship long enough with one woman to know how women really are and how women really operate. If you've been messing with nothing but hoes, then you don't know how to encourage men to deal with real women. You don't have the tools, you don't have the reference guide to be guiding and teaching and preaching to these other men on how to get a real woman, and you've never had one. A lot of you are not barely in your 30s. I listen to a man who's been in a solid relationship for a long time first before I listen to some young dude who's sitting up here saying smash and pass on all these hoes. Don't wife them, don't marry them. What can you teach these other men out here but to create single parent households, but to continue to fill up the child support system with all these cases? Because if you're teaching them to smash and pass, 9 times out of 10 they're not going to use condoms, they're not going to use protection, and you're leading these men down to destruction. You're leading them to destruction. And I'm sure Fresh and Fit probably did encourage some men to make a better decision in life, but I'm sure the men who they empowered does not overpower the men who mindset they have poisoned. And you have female content creators who's doing the same thing, poisoning black women into thinking it's acceptable to be a single mom, to go around here and let all kind of men raw dog her, and at the end of the day, she's still a queen, and she should choose a king after 5 baby daddies later. It amazes me the content we are willing to promote for profits. Now, I'm listening to Myron as he's giving his soap opera speech about, we knew it was going to come to this, and I left my real job, and I left something I love. That was the problem. You shouldn't have left your job for a podcast. That's not an adult decision, sir. And I get it, we all got to take chances and stuff, but if you should have had your side job to where, even if it was part-time that way, because you said it yourself, you kind of contradicted yourself, because at the same time you said, but we knew it was going to come to this, but then you said you didn't see this coming. Which one? I don't know if any of y'all didn't peep that, but he contradicted himself in one statement. We knew this was coming, but we didn't know this was going to come. Evidently, you know what it was. You were so, I'm going to rephrase that for you. You were so sure of yourself. You knew it was a possibility, but you were so sure of yourself. I'm going to push it all the way to the end. I'm going to push it till I can't push it no more. Not to mention, karma's always at its works, because I listen to a lot of male content creators who have also had beef with Fish and Fat. A lot of other red pill guys stopped rocking with freaking Frat because they even disrespected other red pill content creators, which is the reason, which plays part of the reason as to why they got a lot of followers they got. Because if you got dudes you rocking with who teach and preach and do content on red pill, of course they're going to go to you because you teach on red pill. So why would you dare? Because you do red pill content. So why would you shit on your other male content creators who do red pill? They're just not as extreme and abusive towards women as you are. I've heard that they've gotten people flagged, channels flagged. They've gotten people channel strike for copyrights and stuff. I've heard they done a lot of foul things, and for them now to be sitting up here crying wolf like they don't understand. They don't get it. They get it. They just was not prepared for that day that it went down. Now, this is the thing. They can still do their content. If they have any loyalty to their followers, they will still do their content right here on YouTube, even with their channel demonetized. But no, they done got addicted to them cash apps. Their energy is not going to be the same on YouTube. They're not going to be near as excited. They're not going to be near as aroused on going off and going in on women because they're not getting that same monetization that they're used to getting doing it. Because probably every time they cussed a woman out or put her out off the panel, the cash apps probably was ding, 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 ding. The notifications probably was hitting like a damn jackpot machine. Now, people are going to view them, but them cash apps ain't the same. Let me tell you something. And when that money ain't right, that energy ain't the same. It's almost like you're working at a company voluntarily and you ain't getting a check. That's how it is for them if they continue to do their content on YouTube. The fun ain't the same. Now, people will still cash app and Zelle, but listen, a lot of people don't feel like that. People lazy. I tell you, I love my people, but my people is lazy. I done had people who didn't want to buy cups and stuff from me because I didn't have a website. They rather just go on the website and look at the cups they want and purchase them. I have a Facebook page where I got several cups on there where they could look and just inbox me. They don't want to do all that. Technology has everybody spoiled. They could have been changed. These guys could have been changed the scenery long time ago. Could have been put different women. Could have been put different women on their panel. Could have brought women that was celebrities, like decent women, you know. Anybody but these air mattresses who you could convince to come on your panel just for some clout and some chicken, some Kentucky Fried Chicken. Women whose self-esteem is so low, they're so impressed by your invite, they're willing to go on your show and get disrespected. Y'all ain't gonna try that with no grown woman who know no better. They ain't gonna have a woman on there like me who gonna call them out respectfully and intelligently. Cause for one, I'm not under my 30s, so in their mind I about to hit the wall because that's probably what they done. That's the narrative they done push. And plus, about women over 30 anyway. Plus, I'm not gonna sit there and agree with everything you say. They know what they doing. They kept doing that, getting these air mattress city girl mindset broads on their panel. That's scared of them. You can look a couple of times. I looked at the last one, and I can tell all them girls piled up. What is y'all there for? Half of y'all not gonna say nothing. Half of y'all are scared to say something because you don't want to deal with the wrath of Myron the moron who will evict you and ostracize you on public national platform where you'll always be remembered as the girl who got kicked off of Fresh and Fit. And I commend some of the ladies. Some of the ladies ain't had a problem speaking their mind, and they would take their headphones down and walk. I've seen Myron get mad at women who intelligently challenged them, and he would disrespect them. He is a straight up, you know. I cannot tolerate emotional men. You only big and strong when it comes to making a person feel insignificant. But when you are backed into a corner and somebody is challenging you, then you want to become disrespectful. If not, they have other men who come on the show who disrespect the females on their panel, and they don't do nothing about it. They're not gonna put these men in a place for disrespecting females on the panel, especially a female who's conducting herself like class and grace. She ain't coming on there ratchet and disrespecting guys. Now the energy you give back is the energy you get is the energy you give back. You come on the show acting ratchet, then if a guy handles you back in a ratchet manner, you got to be able to deal with that. You got to be able to deal with the energy that you put out there, ladies. It's as simple as that. But basically, you know, these two guys, you know, they want all this empathy and sympathy, but they didn't have it, you know, when they was flagging other people's channel. They didn't have it when They were striking other people for copyrights. They didn't have empathy when women on the show didn't agree. Women on the show, challenged their viewpoints, and they would put them off the panel. They didn't have no sympathy. So, only at this point, things can turn around. Maybe if they beg, plead, bargain hard enough, they do have 90 days with YouTube, where YouTube may reconsider and say, hey, if we do decide to do this, this is going to have to be the new rules. This is how it's going to go, So it's never too late. Things can still turn around. That's why I'm not really going in as strongly as I would like. I'm not really gloating anything, because you never know. Sometimes God has favor even over people we can't stand, and He gives people second chances to redeem themselves. But I won't be surprised if YouTube has officially unplugged the demonetize button, and I think it should. I honestly think it should be demonetized. I think it should, because Fresh and Fit need to see how dedicated their followers are. Maybe that will make them humble themselves when they realize not that many people got your back like you think. People really got your back. They'll go to Rumble. They'll pay that $5 once a month, and they'll keep riding with you. They'll keep rocking for you. You need to see if all of your red pill rager energy is really paying off like you think. I really think it should stay demonetized, because I want them to see how much love their followers really have for them. And guess what? If you still got the same amount of cash apps and donations you've been getting before the channel didn't get demonetized, then your followers really rock with you. They really for you. Sometimes, listen, and this is a lesson in life, sometimes you don't know who's really for you until things crumble for you. You'll find out who has your back when your back is up against the wall. All this good talk, yeah, Fresh and Fit, we rock with y'all. We still gonna be solid. We still gonna rep for you. Let's see if these followers who love y'all so much, let's see if they go to Rumble and pay them $5. Let's see if they decide to just Cash App you, PayPal you, Zelle you. That super chat button ain't there, but guess what? If they really rock with you and they really love what you do, they gonna support you no matter what. Fresh and Fit, they'll support you. If you do get a second chance, y'all need to change y'all whole style. Change the style, y'all. Change how you run your show. Get older women to come on there sometimes. I'm tired of seeing airhead and air mattresses. Not that I'll rock with you, but give me a reason to want to consider rocking with you if you decide to come back bigger and stronger. Get some older, intelligent guys on there. Stop getting red pill raging pit bull dudes on your channel. Change the atmosphere sometimes. You'll be surprised. You may get even bigger than what before, because people be like, okay, yeah, they always did the fuckery, but it's good to see that every once in a while, they doing other things. Bring some women on there who would challenge you, not disrespect you. But at this point, I wouldn't want to go on no show of yours, because they done got so used to handling women all kind of way, because them super chats done got them used to that. Them super chats done put the battery in their back. Money has a way of changing people. Money affects how people deal with you. Money affects how people handles you. It really does. And I think the problem with these guys is their macho-ness and their money. I don't think they'll humble themselves after this. I think right now this is just a cry for help, because reality has set in. I believe that if YouTube was to give them a chance tomorrow, they'll go right back to doing what they've always done. They'll go back to being egotistical, obnoxious, rude, nasty, arrogant. I don't think they've learned nothing from this, because from what I heard, Rumble gives you the room to do all of what you want to do. So I think they're going to get worse. I think at this point now, because YouTube done took away that monetization, I think they really going to start smelling themselves. They really going to act up once they get on Rumble, because now they know they got free will without all these YouTube policies and procedures, I think they really gonna act out, because they going to prove a point to everybody that no, we are still fresh and fit. We are not going to change. We are going to do what we've been doing. This is how we do. Accept it or leave it. Over here we raw. We don't play no games. We don't give a damn who feelings get hurt. This what we gonna do. We gonna keep being rude, obnoxious, arrogant, cocky, because that's how we've earned our revenue, by being ratchet. That's how we've earned our popularity, by being male chauvinistic. That's how we built our platform. The way people build their platform, 9 times out of 10, they're going to stay in that realm. That's why I want certain guy content creators, I see them moving in different directions, because now the audience has elevated. I know to move out the way, because at this point, you can't tell them nothing. Their followers got them thinking they can say and do what they want. Who is you? I get over 10,000 subscribers. I don't have to change how I handle women. I don't have to change how I talk about male content creators. I could put down other men. I can insult other men because I'm bigger than them. My audience lets me know that I'm big enough where I can do what I want to do to anybody. So everybody who's aware of this situation with Fresh and Fit, take this as a lesson learned. Don't just look at them as this is their downfall. If you are operating your channel in this manner, you disrespecting women, you kicking people off the panel, you making racist statements, because from what I heard, I don't know how true it is, but allegedly it's from the racial statements that Fresh has been making with the monkey and all of that and everything. I don't know. That's why I said allege. It hasn't really been determined what was the specific issue, and I don't think it was women, because they've been disrespecting women for a long time, and a lot of content creators are still disrespecting women. So I don't think that's the issue. But if you are doing any of this, take this as a big wake up call. It could very well be your channel next. Stop. Even if you don't, even if you find out down the line the women wasn't the reason they lost their channel, just start working on going a different direction, because very well that can become an issue later on the line, because you got to realize so many content creators are doing it, and eventually a trend, once it starts getting to make its rounds and it gets out of control, eventually YouTube is going to put a stop on that. So make sure you are willing to kind of adjust the content you're promoting. Also, make sure you have a second job. Don't make YouTube your job of income, even if you build partnership with them. You have to realize YouTube is a business. YouTube is like any other corporation or agency. You work for YouTube. YouTube pays you. Okay? So you got to go by their rules. That's the problem with you red pill content creators. Y'all get on a high horse to where you think you own YouTube, and YouTube has to shut you down or either demonetize you and show you you don't run this operation. We giving you the privilege to get your platform so your voice could be heard, so you can continue to build a name and a brand for yourself through our platform, and YouTube ain't even charging you. A lot of places like Twitch and all them, they charge you. And as much as these content creators act like they got so much money, once they got to relocate and go somewhere where they got to pay money versus staying somewhere where they can build their platform for free and just get money, they start tripping. And I'm sure Myron and his friend, I'm sure they done got used to making all this revenue and not having to pay for their platform. But I'm sure the requirements are much different, because if Rumble was saw all of that, that would have been their first priority. So I'm sure Rumble is a totally different ball game, because if Rumble is letting you say what you want to say and do what you want to do without any repercussion, it would have made more sense for y'all to go there first and build your platform off of that. But I believe the reason you didn't build your platform off of that, which is why you're going to do it now, is because Rumble is not near as giving as, and they probably don't. I don't know if they have a partnership over there or not, but I just think Rumble is not as easy as YouTube is. Because YouTube doesn't have it to where anybody has to keep paying or whatever to be registered. You know, unless you're getting a premium. And even that's once a year. But yeah, you know, hopefully these guys humble themselves. Hopefully all of these guys in the red pill community, they look at this as a lesson and realize that I don't care how much your audience is boosting you up. You don't own YouTube. You do. It just takes one day to do content and say something out of pocket. Miss and say the wrong name. Miss and attack the wrong person. Because you so badly want to clout chase. And you wake up one morning, your channel is not available. Or they done demonetized it. So you got to be careful in these YouTube streets, man. You don't own the YouTube streets. The YouTube streets own you as a content creator. So anyway, y'all, leave y'all opinion below. Let me know what y'all think about this. Wish Fresh and Fit the best of luck. I'm sure it's only up from. I'm sure it is only up from here. I am not a fan of them. I've been exited out that door once I saw how the women were getting treated and disrespected and all of those racist monkey comments. I'm not even about to roll with that. You know what I mean? But big ups to you know, if you're a real follower, continue to support, you know, y'all Fresh and Fit followers. Support them. Pay them $5. Go to the Rumble, help them out, because they're going to need it at this point. From my understanding, these guys got a very luxurious lifestyle. And this definitely can be a big major hurt to their pockets unless YouTube spares mercy. So if y'all want them to keep driving nice so they can promote the content that y'all so dearly love and support, then continue to support y'all fellow brethren in this. So anyway, y'all be blessed. Have a good one.